Hello, here we are, week 181. The week that was a nightmare, really. Right, so yeah, what a week. So it started very badly, fortunately ended very well. So does that even out? Doesn't feel like it evened out, but anyway. Right, so where should I start? I guess if you look there, then you can see the sort of opening disaster of the week, where my Royal Exclusiv filter roller broke. So I've been running that for 4 years, pretty much. I'm sure it's 4 years. I've got to be honest, it's been absolutely amazing. It's never gone wrong until this. So what I noticed is I came in on a Monday morning, I came in on a Monday, can't remember what time, and I noticed that the roller hadn't advanced. So I was like, that's weird, because it's very unusual for that not to just work, really. I don't really pay a lot of attention. The only time I get involved with it really is to change the rollover. So it goes in, if you're looking at it, it sort of goes into that box, which obviously keeps all the smells and stuff away from the rest of the fish room. So I took the lid off and I lifted the roll, and the white cog on the end of that roller basically fell off. So it sheared off at the end there. So I was like, oh, not good. Okay. To be fair to them, I emailed them at the end of Monday, so outside of working hours, that's probably 6 in the evening. They got back to me Tuesday morning. They just wanted to verify the size of the sump I had. They'd already looked up my accounts because I buy my filter rolls direct from them, and they were pretty sure, but they just wanted me to verify, so I did. So that was Tuesday sometime, probably midday, and then on the Wednesday by 11 o'clock in the morning, UPS delivered the new roller. So I can't fault them on that. It was amazing. I was maybe a little bit naive, and I thought, seeing as it had broken, they might just send me a replacement, but they made me pay for it. But I think it was 50 odd pounds, so not massive amounts of money for this hobby. But yeah, so the support was really good, very quick. So I've fitted it and it's all back to normal now. Trying to think. Yeah, so you can see from that picture also that I jerry rigged up the broken one basically by just melting some plastic waste pipe to act as a sleeve, and then I'll use the poly weld. Is that what it's called? Pipe weld. Yeah, pipe weld. Basically, what you do when you plumb your tank, basically, I've just put that and some super glue on the bit of the acrylic that snapped, and I fitted that back on the Monday actually, because I didn't want it to be about the roller, because it does pull out a lot of gunk from the tank. Yeah, so that was that. So I did that Monday, and then I also fitted a MXM module onto the spawning tank. So I bought one. So this completely separate system, this is, so there's nothing on this tank has anything to do with the rest of the fish room, basically. It's completely standalone. So it's got a full Apex system on it, it's got its own ATO, everything, none of the saltwater mixes, nothing. So I needed an MXM module to talk to the radiant light that's over it, so I did that, set it up. I've made a whole separate video on that, so I won't discuss it any further. But what happened is, so I have an MXM module just there on the wall. I have another MXM module just up there on the roof beam for the whole of this tank. Set that one up, turned around, looked at my lights and thought, they look weird. They're not running the right schedule. I could just tell, I want to look up, it's a reasonably even glow of LEDs, and they had like weird red and greens, and I was going, that's strange. So I looked on the Apex and it told me that the MXM module was disconnected. So I was like, strange. Unplugged the Aquabus cable, plugged it back in, refreshed, still disconnected. Decided to reboot the whole Apex because I thought maybe it'll find it on a reboot when it goes through its reboot sequence. It rebooted. Not only did it not find MXM, I had no lights on over the tank. So none of the lights came back on. They was all just black, basically, like they weren't on. I was like, that's not good. So I went back into the Apex, still told me the MXM was not there, so I just deleted it off. Then I went into the Mobius, told me it wasn't there either, so I had to re-add it like it was a brand new MXM module. So none of the lights were on there, so I had to add all the lights through the Mobius app again. Then you have to add the MXM to the Apex, then you have to add the lights back, and then you have to do the template, then you have to copy it across all the lights. It took me hours, absolute hours, like 4 or 5 hours just banging around with that. So there you go. So I was like, what a day. So 6 hours I've been out here by then, on a broken filter roller, and I've had to reset all my lights just to get back where I was 6 hours previously, basically. So I thought, oh, right, I need to feel like I've achieved something for my Monday maintenance. So I thought, down there, I've repurposed my old RO pre-filters into a kind of desiccant chamber. So I run the air from my Eheim pump through the desiccant, so it dries the air before it goes into my ozone unit. They last for months. They're really simple. And it's a colour change media, so it starts off like an amber orange, and then as obviously the humidity gets pulled out of the air, they change into a kind of a bluey purple colour. So I looked at them and I thought they're mainly bluey purple, so I will take them out, and all I do is I put them in a baking tray at about 140 in an oven for approximately an hour, dry all the moisture off, and they're good to go again, and they'd be good for another 3 months or something. So I undid the first one. I only do them hand tight. They've got like a rubber seal around them, haven't they? So it's good enough to be airtight. Put it on the side. I've only got 2 baking trays, so I can only do 2 pods at a time. So I took the second one off, and it flipped over in my hand. I don't know why I was holding it at the bottom like that, and it just literally flipped over, and it just spilt 2 litres of silicone beads all over the floor down there in my sump room. Oh, how I laughed. So I just shrugged, picked up the dustpan and brush. I thought, right, well, I'm going to clear them all up. I will put them back in the canister and I'll take them in the house, deal with them there. I stepped off the steps at the end. I don't know if you've ever stepped onto silica beads. They are lethal. They are so slippery. So my footing went immediately, and I just crashed into a heap at the bottom of the stairs, smashed on my back on the stairs. I got a dustpan and brush in my hands. Felt like weeping, really. I just think this hobby sometimes it's very difficult to enjoy. Anyway, so I was down there, so I thought, right, I'm going to sweep them all up, which I did. I hoovered the rest up that I couldn't reach with the dustpan and brush. I put them all back in the canister because I'm that tight. I'm going to reuse them. I thought, no, I'm going to reuse them. So I took them into the kitchen. So the first pod, which is all clean, I put in the baking tray. The second one, I thought, well, I'm going to put them in the oven anyway and dry them. So why not wash them first? Genius idea, yeah? So I've got a sieve, poured them in, put them under the tap. I've got like a shower attachment to my kitchen tap. Started to shower them through while I'm sort of jiggling to get all the dust and the rubbish off that was in there. And then I started getting like hit in the face, and I could hear this weird like clicking noise. I thought, what the hell is that? Or they go off like popcorn if you put water on them. I don't know if you've ever done it. You know when popcorn just goes. Well, that's what they were doing. They were just going everywhere. They were hitting me in the face, flying over my shoulder, all over the kitchen side, all over the floor, just exploding. And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. So I was like, but this time I was just like there. I just went, right, I dumped them all in the baking tray. They were still flying all over the place, and I put them in the oven. So my oven's probably got loads of silica beads in it because I never cleaned it out after. And then I spent the next 45 minutes just trying to get silica beads from all over my kitchen, basically. Yeah, so that was that. And then, funnily enough, in the evening, my wife came in, and she stepped through the front door, and she went, "What's that? What's that smell?" So what happened when I was fixing the Royal Exclusiv roller with that plastic pipe? What I did is I melted the waste pipe over the hob, over my gas hob, and sometimes I got a bit near to the flame and it would bubble up, and it gave off that really horrible stinking plastic burning smell, which then kind of permeated throughout the whole of my house. So it stank, basically. So I know I had to fix something for the fish room, so she rolls her eyes. She steps out into the kitchen, steps straight onto some silica beads that I've missed on the floor. What's this? I went, oh, well, I had a little accident with the silica beads that I used to dry the air for the ozone, like she cares. She's like, oh. She picks up her iPad off the side, which I'd obviously missed cleaning completely, and then she lifts it up, and I don't know how many, but a lot of silica balls just fell off all over the kitchen side, all over the floor. She just walked out. Just went off into another room. I was like, oh, okay, not made any friends today. So that was that, really. Yeah, so that was plenty of disasters for the one day. I think that was it. I mean, that's enough, isn't it? So yeah, so the lights all went pear-shaped, the filter roller broke, and then I just wrecked my house with silica beads, and I stunk it with burnt plastic. So yeah, so it's a really productive Monday. Enjoyed that. Oh, and the other, just to add to it, the other thing is, I filmed these videos on a Monday, yeah? So I filmed the whole thing. I did a whole spawning video, and then I did a maintenance video, and realised the mic. It's not that it wasn't on, because it was on, because I checked. I'm paranoid now because I've recorded a lot when I haven't turned it on. So this time it was on, but it don't work. It's broken. I've had to buy a new one, and it took me a long time to work out. So I recorded it. This is the sixth time. I'm a bit slow. Sixth time before I worked out, because what happened is the mic worked. If I plugged it into the phone and I stood next to the phone and tested it, it worked fine. If I stepped more than a metre away, it stopped working. And it took me quite a while to work that out. I kept plugging it into different cameras and going, well, it works, it's working, why is it? And then I'd film it, and then I'd stop and go, oh, it's not working. Anyway, long story short. Right, so this is my sixth time. So I'm trying to sound enthusiastic, but this is the sixth time I've said all this. Yeah, so anyways, so that was the beginning of the week. Not great. I'm going to feed the fish, actually, while I'm here. But the end of the week ended much better, because Friday I had some guests in the fish room. So I had, what did I have? I had Lee, the one-armed reefer, Tom he's from TV Corals and from the Reefing Network, and I had Dave. I did ask Dave if he had any pseudonyms or nicks or social media, title. He doesn't, he's just Dave. Yeah, so the three of them came here on the Friday, looked at the tank. Tom and Lee came here a bit earlier, and we went off and visited some shops in Essex. So we did Coral Passion, 20 minutes, 25 minutes from here. Swallow Aquatics, 20 minutes from here. Beam Marines, 20 minutes from here. And AAC, which is 25, 30 minutes. So, I mean, that's just a sample of my nearest shop we didn't go to. It's H2O, which is literally a 10-minute walk, 3 minutes in the car. So I've never really, because they've always been there, and there's other shops as well that we didn't go to. I've got a lot of shops kind of within a 20-25 minute drive from me, and they were saying that the nearest shop to them, which is decent, they said it's like an hour and a half drive, and I was like, wow, 3 hour round trip. That's about any time in the shop. I mean, that's a long chunk of time out of your day to go and buy something. Yeah, so I was surprised, really. So I guess I'm just spoiled. Is that the word? Or maybe, yeah, I don't know what the word. I was just surprised that they don't have that many shops up where they are. Yeah, so that was nice. Obviously, I saw the tank. I didn't, being an absolute rubbish YouTuber, I took no pictures whatsoever of anything, anywhere we went, anyone who came, absolutely useless. So I got no record of those events, really. I think Tom and Lee actually put some stuff out on their Instagram. I don't know if they put anything on YouTube or not, but I'm sure you'll find some if you follow them. And then on the Saturday, it was the Coral Freaks event at AAC, which was, a great day. So it was a different event because there was no, what is that noise? Oh, it's probably the dog with the ball, sorry, going mad. What's I saying? Yeah, AAC, yeah. So it was an audience with, so there was no vendors, no coral frag sellers, nothing. There was just, it was like a lecture hall really. And Jeremy Gay and Connor, this is Paul's son, were hosting, I guess. Jeremy was asking the questions with a panel of hosts, which included Dan from Tidal Gardens, Tony Vargas, Jamie Craigs, and Pat and Trina from a wholesale company in Canada. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it actually. I probably enjoyed it more than I did the vendor shows, to be honest. But obviously, you know, I'm a kind of academic, so I like that sort of interaction. Yeah, so I had to chat with Pat outside. So he was very interesting actually. So we got on to, obviously, you know, I spoke to him about fish. He runs his copper levels at full on treatment level all the time in his fish system, and we got talking about QT and stuff. And he said, which I found really interesting, is that to treat Uronema, he uses high per salinity. So he raises his salinity up to kind of 38, 37, 38. I've never heard that. So I was like, huh? Quite taken back by it, because I've never seen anything. I mean, all the stuff I've read about Uronema, people talk there's probably at least 2 different strains of it. It's a celiac parasite. It doesn't need a host to survive, so it can quite happily live in your tank with no fish. But if it was that simple that you just raise your salinity to get rid of it, I was just like, wow, why have I not seen this anywhere else? So I'll dig into that some more. But yeah, so these are just a little interesting conversation. Yeah, the nuggets to take away. So I took 2 nuggets away. That was the first one. And the second one with Jamie Craig, who's always good for information, is that on the spawning tank, I do not need to black it out all year long and have the corals running on a seasonal data sequence for the whole 12 months. You can have them on whatever light cycle you want, and then about a month before they spawn, you just put them onto where you want them to be. So I black the tank out 4 weeks before they're due to spawn, and they will switch quite quickly onto that light cycle and that seasonal data, which makes it a lot easier to run the tank basically. Yeah, so 2 nuggets for that. So yeah, really good day. David Saxby got Lifetime Achievement Award. I think the Yorkshire Reefer was the official videographer for the day, so I'm sure if you go over to his channel, if you want to see what went on, he will be putting videos out. I think he already has. I know he's done the David Saxby Award one. I know Jay's Real Reef was there as well. I saw him doing some filming, and I think he interviewed all of the panel. And East Coast Reefer did some videoing as well. So they would be the 3 people in that order, I guess, to look for content of that day. But yeah, it was a good day. So the week started really rubbish, but ended very well. So it was really good. Tank is fine. It's looking better actually, slowly bouncing back. I'm going away again Friday, so it's got a thing for itself again for a week. My son will be popping in to feed it, but it'll be intermittent. I'll probably come back to something. It's normally what happens. I'm just giving the rest of this food. So what have I done this week? I've mixed up my salt week this week, so I've just mixed up 1,000 litres of fresh salt water. The auto water change seems to be going okay. Haven't really made any changes. I bought some magnesium because I tend to be dosing a couple of 100 ml of magnesium a day into the tank just to keep it at around 1,300. Yeah, it just seems to be using quite a bit of magnesium really. My calcium's pretty steady around 4 to 420. pH is like 8.1, 8.2. It's getting to that time of year now, so the calc dosing's come right down. I think I'm on like 16 litres a day. So I just kind of balance it out with the calcium reactor. I'll just turn the calcium reactor up as the calc goes down. And that's it really. That's basically all I do. Yeah, I think that's it. So I don't think there's anything else to talk about the tank really. I mean, that was enough. Hopefully I'll get a period of time. Well, now those two XM modules set up, I'm hoping, across everything, that the lights will be good now. So the only thing that happened also this week is obviously we've had our clocks change. So we've gone back, and they went back an hour. And the Apex, I mean, it's got the settings. It says it's daylight adjustment and it's auto clock or whatever. But they're still running on the old, so everything's an hour out. Doesn't really bother me, to be honest. So I don't know whether it'll flick over eventually or whether I need to reboot the Apex to get it to settle into the new time. I might try that later. I might not, because I don't want all the lights to go out. So, but it doesn't really make a big deal for me. It just means they come on earlier and they go off a bit earlier. But I'm not out here anyway at those times, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I think that's it, guys. So next week I am away because it's that time to get a year older for me. So I'm going away with some friends. So there will be no maintenance video next Wednesday, but there will be a episode 3 of the spawning, because I think I've made sufficient changes to that tank to make another video on it. So that's it, guys. So there'll be no maintenance next week. If you're interested in the spawning, watch that. If not, then don't, obviously. Yeah, so have a good one, and I will see you in a fortnight.